what Navi is going to try and do to swap it up. They did have a number of advantages that they almost were able to take advantage of, weren't quite able to pressure CLG enough, and a lot of it has to do with the wave clearing capabilities from Froggen. And so not only was Cog a good offensive pick, but works very well defensively. They were able to just constantly clear the waves, not allow Navi to push any towers, and then split push in order to stall out the game until that super late game.
So we got very similar bans coming in, same exact ones as last time.
But that's right. Nautilus was banned.
Nautilus was banned. Yeah, but also was banned from CLG. He's been banned again, so now Navi's considering their last ban. Do we want to ban out the Kog'Maw? Last game, their third ban was Urgot, because they will make that available if they do decide to ban him. But Navi does have first pick. They're also trying to consider what would we like to take first. What do we want to deny CLG? And there we go. There is the Kog'Maw ban. Get him out, and the Urgot ban will be picked up. So Karthus is available now, as opposed to last game.
Yeah, that's true. It depends on what kind of a team you're trying to run. Karthus does work well in a number of teams, and we have seen a number of EU teams as well as NA teams grabbing him. But I don't know. I don't know that Navi wants to run a Karthus right now. From what I've seen of Navi, they seem to really like that aggressive kind of play. Try and pick up those early kills. Shen definitely works because it gives them that versatility. Either go Shen top or in the jungle. Did work out pretty well for them. They weren't able to completely take advantage of it, but even so, it worked out. So definitely a safe pick.
It worked out for him quite early. We had the amazing initiation from Shen also as we hit the end of the mid game from Navi. That flash, that taunt did everything they really needed to. Shen definitely works well for what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. Just try and isolate, single champs whenever they get the opportunity. It works well for them. But now, Kog'Maw not available for CLG. We're gonna see what they decide to do with this. Karthus still open. He's still open.
There's a lot of options. Janna would definitely be a nice pick right now. The movement speed's really nice. I mean, CLG.NA would 100% take Janna right now, but it's just a strong all-around pick. Soraka worked very well with their team last time. I think they'll probably go something safe like Janna or Soraka.
I can see the Graves being picked up here too.
Yeah, Graves could be a pickup. If they want to go with that Nocturne could definitely be that strong jungler for them. Graves just an all-around strong bot champion, so a number of choices available.
Yeah, Graves was a big part of Navi's damage output last game. If CLG takes it nowadays, go ahead, deny it for him. It's not like Navi's going to be taking Ezreal in response here. Not very likely. But Kennen is also still available. We don't want to get too hesitant. We don't want to get too over ourselves here. We want nice. Oh, there we go, Soraka, and we will get the Graves. So we're gonna have a nice sustained lane down there. Bot Graves not gonna be going really anywhere, and we also get to secure the Soraka that we have from game one.
Yeah, and with the mana for Graves can easily push you into the tower. We'll be pretty safe with his passive, and with the armor from Soraka, it's going to be really difficult to kill him. So it is generally a pretty safe lane. The concern is if we have long-range damage against Graves, then maybe you can harass him down a little bit. It's difficult with the Soraka, but if we saw like a Leona Varus, then not only do we have a range advantage on Graves with Varus, but we also have a lot of burst, and that is a lane that we've kind of seen up and coming recently.
Yeah.
They could also go, someone like Ashe for the initiation. Nocturne definitely works. They want to get that, aggressive jungle. And if they have the ranged DPS, if they go for like a Varus, then they don't want to allow CLG to get that Nocturne pick. So that definitely is a smart choice, having the Janna as well. They have, a lot of versatility right now, and so not really set in their roles. Nocturne could go top. He's probably going to be in the jungle.
Yeah.
But we have seen, with SK Kevin played a really nice Nocturne a couple weeks ago that we got to watch. But even so, they have really safe pick. The Janna and Nocturne combo is always really nice for the movement speed. He can just counter jungle really aggressively, be all over the map, have aggressive ganking. So we'll have to see what CLG does.
Yeah, but it's pretty safe to say that with this Nocturne in the jungle, Shen top lane, so we're pretty much locked out to that. But Shen, right. you should be able to get a pretty decent amount of farm. We have to wait and see who we're going to have CLG place against him in the top. But also remember that if Shen in the jungle, if it's a necessity for him to ult to save someone, we're not really losing a whole lot. We may get counter jungled here if our buffs are up. But Shen in the top lane, if we do have to ult away, we're allowing the enemy team to free farm top lane if they do not have a teleport and if they do not want to go ahead and pursue. And Aurelia top lane, not really someone you want to give a whole lot of farm to. And Navi should know this because they had her last game and won and got pretty farmed up early on. But we do have the Mundo and Aurelia pick here. Onto CLG, Mundo going to be that very nice tanky body up front, along with the heal and armor buff from Soraka, and Karthus was still open, and now we do have the Ashe pick here. We're gonna that initiation should be pretty good for him. Follow up with the arrow, follow up with the Nocturne ult. We got the Shen taunt. We got a nice little combo CC here, but Ashe will definitely be one of the big playmakers for Navi this game.
Yeah, Navi's really happy with their team comp. We saw CLG pick up the Mundo. It doesn't counter out Nocturne, but being able to really quickly clear the jungle, that with the Janna passive on Nocturne, he's going to be really aggressive with counter jungle. So you pick Mundo. There's not really the threat of that anymore. Mundo can control the map, has the movement speed to be in place to kind of not allow Nocturne to get the aggressive ganks that he wants. He can just kind of slow him down a little bit. But the issue is, because now we have a very short-range team, we have Mundo, Aurelia, and Graves, that opens up the possibility for the Karthus. And so now that we have that short range, Karthus throws off the wall. It's late game a 60% slow, so just a ridiculous amount of slow. You have the AoE to follow it up. Very quickly you can win those fights, and regardless, they have so much burst potential with 4 globals, so or near globals. But
they might as well
even
be.
So, the Nocturne and Ashe combo is one of the most aggressive bot lane combos, and having that jungle come in with the Ashe arrow, then you're going to follow it up with the Karthus ultimate, and that's just going to be so deadly. The big concern is for Krepo, and Graves should be okay with the dash, but Krepo, without any survivability, he has the heals, but that's just too much damage to deal with when you combo it all together. And so, we'll have to see what CLG kind of does to not allow that to happen. If they go on the aggressive early, if we see them aggressively pushing down bottom to try and deny those opportunities. Top lane, Wicked versus Nezreal, and it's kind of an interesting matchup. Shen versus Aurelia. Early on, Shen just crushes Aurelia, and there's not much that Aurelia can do. There's just so much damage up front from Shen, and then he's got the regen benefit. He's kind of like Aurelia used to be, and Wicked clearly would know the Aurelia matchup better than almost anyone. He's just well known for playing such a strong Aurelia. As the game progresses, Aurelia definitely has that burst, but I'm not sure that Aurelia ever takes over completely against Shen. Like, I don't think I'm there is a point where Aurelia becomes stronger, but I think Shen has enough of an early game that's going to be a difficult lane for Wicked. But if he can get some nice levels, like we saw last game, he can maybe turn it around. Shen can do a little bit more upfront damage than Kennen can, though. So that's definitely going to be a concern for him. And if Shen gets an early advantage, then very quickly that top lane can just split push, put on a lot of pressure, and then all of the rest of Navi's aggression can just focus on bottom lane. That's where we're going to see the aggression for the most part. Once Nocturne hits 6, going for those kills, Morgana gives them the fight control. They have the AoE, but it's just such an aggressive team from Navi right now.
And we may see bot getting pretty pressured. We have the pressure bot lane potential from both sides. We have Graves. He's just going to go ahead and continue to push on, and he has to sustain from Soraka. Ashe, on the other hand, we got a great support in terms of Janna. Also, the support coming in from Nocturne, not too far away in the jungle. He will be more effective when he hits 6, when he can go ahead and ult in. But Mundo also quite good at posing some aggression as well. And seeing as CLG is on purple side, it's going to be very easy for Mundo to just come on in through the back, through the tri-brush, and get a nice little sneak attack in here on Navi. But we got a mutual decision from both teams to go down into this mid tri-brush here. We got Dust being focused down, and he has no choice but to shield himself. And now Froggen, being a little bit too focused out, is going to be the first one to leave the fight. Going to be a little bit of an even trade here. 1, 2, 3, 4 summoners down for Navi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down for CLG.
Yeah, and I think CLG's honestly just lucky that they didn't throw the game there. I mean, that was really close to just being a GG very quickly.
Yeah, it was.
And I think they kind of underestimated how much damage Navi had. And we kind of saw that yesterday with Evo versus MTW. And so Ashe level 1 is just one of the strongest level 1 characters. And they have the Morgana snare. They wanted to just be able to pick someone off, burst someone down. But when you have the Ashe damage, you have the Nocturne damage as well, and you have the Karthus damage with those persistent Qs. Very quickly, we saw all of CLG getting very low, so they were able to back out of there. None of them going down, but a number of summoners going down, like you said. So as a result, we're going to have a little bit more aggression from Navi, and we do see Mundo going to be grabbing this blue. Same with Nocturne, so they will be even in the jungle here. But it was kind of interesting. We saw the fast ward from Navi wants to make sure they have control of the river, and then the race down to that bottom tri-bush, both of them, Navi kind of realizing what CLG was trying to do, trying to invade their red.
For anyone out there who doesn't play a whole lot of AD, who've never played Ashe, or if you're still new to the game, because of Ashe's passive, pretty much the first arrow she delivers in any given game is a crit. So you have a lot of damage possible just from that first initial arrow. We see CottonX come in here with the fear onto Wicked, but Wicked should be able to get away pretty easy. But with that crit on Ashe, with that guaranteed crit, the first damage, it's pretty significant and can deal quite a bit of hurt, and also makes support Ashe a little interesting as well. Just wait in the bush. Oh, I have my guaranteed crit here. I think I'm gonna hit somebody.
And the Graves versus Ashe matchup bottom is definitely interesting. Now, Graves does have the advantage of having the regen versus Janna, and with his burst, he's actually really capable of bursting down Janna's shield, which is what you always want, to just burst down the shield since it loses that AD buff. Ashe, generally speaking, usually has an advantage over Graves early because Ashe has the range over him. You can get off some free harass. If Graves tries to chase you down, you throw off a volley into his face, and then you're able to get out of there. But we do see Mundo coming up top. He is going to get a nice gank onto Shen here, and Wicked is a little bit low, but he's baiting him in perfectly, and so Nezrelas getting caught out a little bit here. He throws off the taunt, but the slow is going to hit. He flashes out, but the cleaver does hit, so he does get out of there. But even so, the flash is down, and now Snoopay just kind of holding position, going to help Wicked get farmed here in the early game.
Yeah, Wicked was falling down a little bit behind earlier, being quite pushed, but since the lane has pushed over to CLG's favor, the presence from Snoopay will dissuade Ness just a little bit. The more time we can kill for Aurelia top lane, the more farm we can get her, the more gold we can get her, so we can catch up on items. It's gonna show. It's gonna show as we keep on hitting into the mid game and heading on to the possible late game here. But for now, we got the engage once again here, going on to Shen. Snoopay isn't nearby, and Ness is trying to go the long way around to try and escape this because we got Nocturne. CottonX is not too far away. We got the Q coming in onto Snoopay, and a little bit of lag there, but we got a pause here actually.
The mid-fight pause is never fun, so
no.
Hopefully, it didn't affect anything for them too much, but we'll see, how it comes out. The big issue is not only do we have Nocturne coming up, so CottonX with the really nice awareness there, but Morgana is following, and Karthus doesn't really have a lot of options for early game fights. So Karthus, you primarily want to sit mid. Early fighting is really difficult, and you can get caught out of position. You don't have that survivability. All of a sudden, you go down. So he knows he can't follow. We do have the play resuming, though. We'll have to see what happens. And we actually have Shen out of position, gets the slow.
Coming up. We got Morgana coming in, though. Can we get the bind on someone? We got the bind, and right there onto Ness in the first blood. Aurelia will go ahead and pick that up. Karthus doesn't have many early teamfight options, but you know what? Morgana does. We got the bind. We got this. We got the root. We can keep it in place. And there we go. We got just a quick visit, quick Q, first blood.
Yeah, and so Karthus is going to be very safe farming in this mid lane. Does have plenty of range against Morgana. It will primarily be a free farm matchup, but as you saw, Morgana has a little bit more roaming options. And as the game progresses, Karthus, will get some nice clearing once he gets blue, once he gets some levels. But Morgana right now can kind of force him into the tower if she just pushes up like she did there, and then either go steal the jungle creeps, which will give her a farm advantage, or go for some early aggression. And if CLG can get that early aggression, they can maybe deny some. But we do see CottonX coming in. He is going to wait for a second, but actually coming right onto Yellow Pete, going to get onto Crepo actually. So he's got the fear. The flash goes off, but unfortunately he's a little bit too close. The red buff chasing him down. The whirlwind and the ignite. They're able to pick up that kill.
Nice. We pretty much blew so many more summoner spells. Flash and heal now down for Crepo. We had the exhaust is all we need, and the ignite was just there to put the icing on the cake. So now we have the presence here bot lane. We see that we had both junglers really trying to exert their pressure on the top lane, but we knew CottonX, we can make a difference down here bot lane. Graves is going to be naturally pushing. We might as well go ahead and try and get that kill, but Graves has many escape options. Go for the support. Keep the heals away. Keep the support denied.
Wow, and so we see Wicked starting to be really aggressive against Shen here. He had the level advantage for a short period of time, so able to get some nice damage there. Mundo coming down, trying to steal the Wraiths. I'm not sure if he got one. The second cleaver we saw failed, but I wasn't sure if there was a first one. I don't think he got anything. So, the ward allowing him to be kind of aggressive there, but Karthus kind of coming in to zone him out a little bit, and Wicked just really doing a nice job with that lane control after Mundo gave him the nice start.
Yeah, we got a little bit of fancy footwork also coming in from Wicked as well. It's like, I'm going to farm this creep. Then I'm going to farm this creep. You know what? No, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to stun you. I'm going to try and attack you, get some more harass. And Ness is being forced to back off here. The lane is pushing up pretty far here for Wicked, but Shen, Ignite, and Flash, we do not have teleport on him, so it's going to take a little while for him to come back up top. Cotnex is going to have to cover for the time being against this quick little two-man push. I'm just going to go straight for tower. CLG looking to take out this tower as quick as we can, and we also got the ultimate coming in from Aurelia as well to clear the wave. We this tower is actually going down to near half already. We got the fear going down on the Snoop. We'll be dissuaded just a little bit, but yeah, CLG's they got a huge target on the back of this top tower.
Yeah, and I mean, they take it down to half, but even if they didn't kill the tower, they just denied a boatload of experience from Shen. And so, Nezerlas falling behind Wicked here won't be able to be as aggressive, and we're starting to see really quickly the lane completely changing into Aurelia's favor. They do want to watch out bottom, though, because even though they have the regen advantage, there's just so much aggression coming out, and Ashe is close to hitting 6. When we have the Ashe combo with Nocturne, with Shen, with Karthus, there's just so much kill potential, and it's going to be difficult for Krepo to survive that. So, I'm really curious what he'll do. We do see Morgana coming down here, stealing some of those wraiths with the pushing potential, able to push Karthus right up to the tower.
And we also see Mundo coming around to the blue. So Froggen will go ahead and take that back with him into the mid. Now Ness is back into lane, up against Wicked, taking a look to farm 33, 36, still somewhat even, but we got the Phage here on the Wicked. Going to be doing quite a bit once we start going in for more harass. Just trying to defend. Extra health on Shen with the Heart of Gold, extra GP 10. More than likely going to be seeing that build into a Randuin's much later on, but for now, a little bit extra income, always a good thing. And now Yellow Pete being pushed to tower. Krepo going to be going back, purchasing, going to grab the Heart of Gold for himself, but Navi now coming here for the Dragon.
And this is another strength of Navi's team. Karthus is one of the best damage dealers in the game with both Dragon and Baron. You combo that with Nocturne as well. They do have a lot of control here, so they will be able to take it down fairly quickly. You actually see the bind in from Morgana, not going to be able to follow it up, so they are able to get the Dragon. You saw originally, Nocturne, we see CLG, they want to be very careful about Nocturne coming up into the bushes. So the ward down there, they were aware of Nocturne's presence. They did see him, so they did kind of back off for a little bit. But even so, it is a small gold advantage for Navi right now, and they definitely have the mid-game aggression. So, what is CLG going to kind of do to stimmy that? What do they do to not, allow them to be as aggressive? Well, one thing is Morgana can push Karthus into the turret. Aurelia as well. So Aurelia can clear the waves 10 times as fast as Shen can. So if Aurelia can force Shen into the turret, now Shen can't be as involved with his team. And then, Mundo trying to counter out Nocturne.
We also saw real quick on the minimap, Nocturne, Cotnex was going for their own red, but we saw him get ridiculously low because he was hurting quite a bit after tanking all of that damage from Dragon. We were not able to finish off the entire camp, if anyone. Did he actually get anyone in a red? We got the small minis, but we were not able to finish red buff in time. That's going to slow down the jungle a little bit. Had to go back to town. Had to go back, get health and mana just so he can actually come by and finish the buff. But now we got it. But Mundo, Snoopy, we have a level advantage on him now.
And so now we see the binds from Morgana, and that's always the concern with Karthus. If Karthus gets hit with the bind, Morgana walks up with the ultimate. There's a lot of quick kill potential there. We do see this ward down here die, and I'm not sure whether or not Navi knew when the ward was spawned, so if they knew when it was going to die, or if they saw it. But Nocturne, is 6, Ashe is 6, so that's definitely something for CLG to be concerned with, them having both of their ultimates. And we see CLG going to get some nice damage on mid tower as well. They're actually very close to taking it down. I think they might be able to grab it, but we see Navi coming onto the Yellow Pete down bottom. Nocturne not going to be able to get the engage, so they will back off safely.
But you see, we got a lot of pressure top. We got a lot of pressure mid from CLG. They're just looking here to quickly take objectives as fast as they can, towers, very prime objectives, good gold for the rest of the team. We did have the dragon being picked up from Navi earlier. Just want to try and mitigate some of that as well. But once again, we see Froggen wandering up towards the top lane with a Snoop and actually going to go from behind tower. We may actually see Ness die quite quickly. We got the shield coming in and the Morgana ult coming in. Can we get the root? Yes, we do, and very quickly going down. But the shield from Morgana is down. Not going to be able to take all of that Karthus ult damage, but they will still stay alive and might be actually able to take down this tower pretty quick. Cotton is here to try and defend a little bit, but next big push. If that lane is left unattended for really any period of time and Wicked's still around, top tower is going to go down pretty quick.
And we have a hard 2-level advantage for Wicked over Shen. So
yeah.
Shen did just level up, so he is a full 2 levels behind, which means that Wicked can just be so aggressive, continue to zone him out. And you look at the CS right now, Wicked a little bit low because of the zone from Shen early, but he is way ahead of Shen now. He can completely shut down that top lane. So not taking the turret actually helps him a little bit because he knows he can be very aggressive. He can just zone Shen out of that lane, and then Shen is just going to be so ineffective coming into the mid-game fights. And that's something that CLG just took such great advantage of early with that Mundo pick.
And Shen, he's not the greatest farmer in the world. And even if we really wanted to, Wicked can just go ahead and take down the tower. And while Shen would be given free farm if he decides to not stay in the lane, Shen, it's going to take a little bit more time for him to farm up. But we have seen champs before do some very nice item builds. I can't remember who it was who got Ionic Spark on Shen to definitely helped with the farming there whenever he had the opportunity. So we may see Wicked straight out take the tower. We had pretty decent minion wave there. The waves just on their own should be able to take it out in due time as well.
Yeah, Ionic Spark is something that a lot of Shen players have been experimenting with. We've seen Wit's End has always been kind of a common item for him. Getting that attack speed definitely helps. The magic resist is really nice. I think it might have been Hot Shot. I think I've seen him get Ionic Spark on Shen before. But regardless, it does give you a little bit more clearing speed when you have that attack speed combo. So that you don't have to worry about it as much. But even with it, he is still pretty slow, when compared with a clearer like Aurelia. And so, it's just such a struggle for him in this lane right now. Yeah,
but I think at the very least, though, Ionic Spark would carry nice as we hit in mid-late game as well, because we have Mundo, we have Aurelia, we have Morgana. Very, very close range here on CLG, so I think we might actually get our money's worth if we do decide to buy it, but we still got some time. We still got some time to farm. We're going to see what happens, and we're going to see if Wicked decides to go all out on the top tower. Bot lane, in the meantime, Yellow Pete and Cripple returning in a lane. And bot lane 108. Oh, we got the flasher. We're going in on this. Wicked has no choice but to pop the ult, but Karth is going to be getting near. It's just a little bit too late. We're not going to have the wall paint available to us, but Wicked actually coming back in, trying to make something happen here on the Shen.
But you see how just desperate Shen is right now. And so Karthus was coming up, but wasn't really in range yet. Wicked started leaving, and Shen was like, no, he's leaving. What do I do? So he tried to stop him. We do see Ashe here with Nocturne coming up the lane. There's the arrow onto Yellow Pete. He throws off the cleanse. Nocturne going to get the ultimate under tower now. And unfortunately, with that Soraka heal, they will be very safe. So CLG, again, being very safe in this bottom lane, despite that aggression from Navi.
Even if we didn't have the cleanse available to us, Yellow Pete, he was pretty safe. We were pretty close to tower. I think Navi was just getting a little bit too antsy. He's like, okay, top lane, we've seen Shen do what he can, not really able to connect. Let's try and make some action here. And we've seen that that can kind of backfire on them. Navi trying to force the action where there are no opportunities, and we saw the disaster that proved game 1. And now, because we have an Ashe arrow down, CLG knows, like, okay, one of their main forms of initiation is down. We can go ahead right in for Dragon.
Yeah, and we see Wicked coming down to this bottom. He wants to make sure that Shen doesn't get that ultimate in, force a poor fight for his team. So they are in control of the Dragon. They are probably pretty stronger in team fights right now. So we have the great initiation and pickoff from Navi. Shen, going to do a nice job zoning or forcing some of this experience loss from Wicked, but even so, he's going to get most of it. But the nice thing is that Navi, they have the initiation. They want to pick people off. Team fights right now probably a little bit in CLG's favor, and a lot of it has to do with how tanky they are. So Aurelia is so tanky. Mundo, Graves, he's not tanky, but when you combo him with the Soraka and with the Morgana, that dual kind of support, it's just going to be difficult to take him down as well. So it's going to be difficult for Navi to pick up kills in the middle of the fight.
And Navi, I think they're a big part of their team fights is landing the Ash Arrow on the champ we need. We land the Ash Arrow we need, Nocturne can follow up, and we have a lot of damage capabilities here to pick off just one specific member of CLG if they ever do get the decision. But it's a matter of landing the ults where we need them to be. And game one, we saw it didn't quite happen as much. We saw Gragas missing quite a bit. We saw Leona missing quite a bit. So I do worry as we're heading in, especially now that we're seeing Wicked taking still such continued control of top lane.
But we have the arrow bottom onto Yellowfeet as he's trying to recall. Cotton X coming down here. We have the Karthus ult as well. There's the fear. And then the flash from Dust going to get the knockback with the Monsoon. Nocturne has to get out of there, but the Shen ult is going to keep him alive, so they are chasing down Crepo. One more attack would do it, but Crepo just barely able to get out of there. Shen coming up, though, does take down Crepo, and now Snoopy trying to get the kill onto Janna. Can't quite do it, so they are chasing him down. Oh, there's actually the pull from behind with Morgana. Snoopy very close to going down, but the bind is actually going to pick him off, and now the ultimate from Morgana grabs the kill. Flash from Ashe actually keeps him safe, so now the flash over from Karthus.
Jeez.
We have everyone getting involved on this. There's the kill for Karthus. They're able to grab it. In the meantime, though, Wicked pushing down this top tower, so a nice exchange for Navi. They do get the advantage there, but Wicked is going to be able to take a tower.
Yeah, I think Wicked taking this tower may actually be worth a little bit more if we can actually get away. We are feared under tower. We do have the flashway. We're not quite going to be able to get it.
We have the ultimate from Nocturne though, and with that red buff.
But do we have the ult is down for Wicked, so we will not have the sustain. And Wicked, all right, we should have backed out a little bit earlier. We got a little bit too greedy. If Wicked got away, I think CLG it would have been a little bit of a wash, because I think they didn't. If we had the tower, if we were guaranteed that bot tower, would have been quite a bit even. But now Wicked's down. We have one less member, and not all doing wiser. CLG, they're not quite sure if Navi's going to go after Baron, but we do see Karthus out there. Mundo's going to find out real quick, but I don't think with Aurelia down, there's a lot of damage going, and everyone from CLG is pretty scattered, dude. Not going to get in here from time.
And so it is a pretty fast Baron, but a couple of them are low. Nocturne is almost completely out of this fight. If Morgana gets in time, they will be fine. They do get that Baron. Now they need to get out of here with that wall from Karthus. Shen going in, but he is going to drop, so just Shen able to taunt for his team. They do back off. There's the wall going to stop Mundo from that chase. Morgana going to try and get one more bind, and actually gets the bind onto Dust, so they will pick up that kill. So two members going down, but Dust
okay.
just barely able to get him. But even so, they are able to pick up that kill, and you saw with the Aurelia versus Nocturne, Wicked is 10 times as strong as Nocturne is right now.
Yeah.
1v1, Wicked should crush him, but the concern was Nocturne, really smart, was able to just use his AoE to fast clear the wave and then get the fear onto Wicked. And so Wicked all of a sudden was like, oh, dang, I don't have anything I can jump to. Yeah. He was caught underneath that tower. So they do have the Baron though, and with that AoE from Karthus, that's going to be really disruptive. He does have that Rabadon, so he's pretty tanky. They have a lot of damage output now.
Yeah, but I'm still consistently worried about initiation for Navi, because it was a little bit lucky for Navi that Wicked did decide to stay around for so long, and it's just kind of like giving up a free kill, just trying to make something happen with that tower and make the best of a situation that happened down bot lane. But now that Wicked died, it was able for Navi to go ahead and grab that free Baron, but CLG was still able to grab two members in retreat. Could also very well speak about the disengagement opportunities for Navi, which is Janna ult and Karthus wall.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that was what they knew. They knew we can kill Baron really quickly. We're at a serious disadvantage. If Morgana can get the flash in and ult on top of us, we lose. But Morgana's flash was down. They probably kept the timer of that from the previous fight. And so, they were able to get it just before Morgana got into range. And so Morgana, we had the snare onto Shen, but Shen was the sacrificial lamb. He was able to get his team out of there. Yeah. We do see Wicked pushing down bottom, so they do have the push advantage. We have a number of towers going down, but Wicked well out of position here. All of Navi is surrounding him.
So we should have I'm wondering if our ward coverage needs to be a little bit more to be desired. But while we see everyone now engaging on the Wicked, will he be able to get away? I'm not quite sure. There we go. There's the arrow. There's all the initiation we needed. And the wall pain coming right on in and immediately melting. But you see the rest of CLG very aggressively pushing the second tier tower into mid, knowing, okay, all 5 of you, we know you want to go ahead and kill our teammate. Well, we're going to go ahead and take something in response. We got the second tower in mid, and remember, from all the damage Wicked did on top lane as well, if they so desire, they can just go swoop around, Mundo can take it, and they can take that as well.
Yeah, so really nice play by CLG. It will stall them a little bit. Navi is going to get a free tower here, but they probably would have had a free tower anyway with when you consider that, you know, we have the Baron. So that's not really that much of a concern. Wicked is back up already.
Yeah.
So it was a very safe play, and getting that tier 2 tower is just huge. We have the bind on the dust, so again, some nice poke damage from Morgana. And Morgana can slow down their push a lot. Ashe has pretty good range, can usually poke down towers very easily, but if they hit the bind onto Ashe, very quickly they could lose this fight, particularly now that Wicked is back in it.
We still have a few more seconds until the Ashe arrow is up. We still have a little bit of time left on the Baron buff for Navi as well, so if there's an advantage they want to press, they want to do it now. Dragon back up, so I think we're going to go ahead and pressure that as well. But now Navi is split. We got a 2-3 split here in front by the Dragon Pit, and we know this. Yellow Pete, he knows Navi is split, wants to go in and try and get a kill on the dust if he can, but CLG, with their pressure, despite Navi having Baron, they're able to go ahead and secure Dragon.
Yeah, and so you see Navi just kind of scared of them right now because, again, they're so tanky. They have that fight control with Morgana. They have such a strong team fight team. It will be difficult for Navi to pick up kills.
And look at the wave top lane, too, man.
Oh, man, that's going to take the tower.
Yeah.
So Navi, they know, all right, we need to pick people off. We need to win, you know, the small engages or just snowball. If we can grab, you know, Graves, or if we can grab Morgana, then yes, that's going to be a huge win for us. The issue is we have the Morgana shield, and so it's very difficult for them to initiate like they would want to, and then it's just such a tanky, high-damage team from CLG. They're able to win the longer fights, and so Navi, even with the Baron, is just kind of scared of him. They need Karthus to just be super powerful, and once he is late game, he will have the nice AoE control for this tank team. But right now, it's just not enough.
And also, Wicked, getting a lot of credit also for being a pretty good bait. We have the fear into Navi now. We saw Wicked win top lane ridiculously hard. So we've established the fact that Wicked have quite a fair amount of farm, quite a fair amount of damage output as well. So now we see that we're seeing Navi kind of tunnel vision in, and that's why Wicked is here leading the charge, because we know that they're going to want to focus them. And there we go. Ness just out in front, trying to defend his tower push, just straight up attacking Wicked, not being able to get anything from it.
Yeah, and so even though the game's pretty even, Ashe can't even fight here.
Nope.
The rest of Navi, they have no means of engaging without Ashe. They have to back off. Wicked actually chasing. We have the Shirelias, and then Ashe, Wicked jumping into Navi. Citizen, he will jump into the middle of the team. That zombie Karthus trying to get the rest of them, but there's the bind from Morgana, able to grab Janna here. We will have the Karthus ultimate, isn't able to grab anyone, and so CLG with a huge advantage. They will be able to pick up this tower. Ashe, in the meantime, is still pushing. Wicked, does he get another engage? He does, but he's got to back out now. So Ashe very close to picking up that tower, but in the meantime, CLG is very comfortable down bottom. They have enough time. They will get this Nexus turret. I don't think they have enough time for the inhibitor because we have to deal with the Shen, and Shen actually getting right into the middle of the team. There's actually another bind from Anivia. So for Froggen, I mean, I see the Anivia, and that's just synonymous, but they do get the Mundo kill, and they stall the push, so they do have to back off now.
And Ashe was not able to get the top tower either. How low did that thing go? Did it go very low? Halfway. And exchanging your own tier 2 plus just a handful of kills, not quite worth the aggression. And remember, Navi, one of their main means of initiation is the Ashe arrow. They really could have used it, because we had quite a few members of CLG tanking towers to go ahead and get those kills. The arrow would have been so much of a help there.
And we'll see, how Karthus can continue to build. He probably has that Rabadon's now with that blue. He's pretty close, so just 300 off. He will be able to get that Rabadon, so that'll give him some nice damage output. A lot of what we need from Navi is the damage out of Ashe, though. And Ashe late game is very strong. She's always had the initiation, but the issue is that her base damage is a little low compared with other ADs. But once she gets into that super late game build, once she starts getting the Zeal and Phantom Dancer, we do see Graves, he is ahead of Ashe as far as items because of the pressure that CLG's had. And so against this HP, because they have so much HP, Magic Damage kind of struggles against that. So we have some burst from Shen, we have some burst from Nocturne, but it's not really enough damage to take him down. What they need is nice sustained damage from Ashe. And so, right now, Ashe and Karthus, they're very comfortable with just playing very defensively right now, farming up, trying to get further and further into late game, and then see if they can pick anyone off with the initiation, pick up a couple of quick kills, and then just, quickly take an advantage that wins them the game.
We got the hawk shot here from Ashe, and they know CLG's starting Baron, and CLG doesn't care if they know that they're starting Baron because they know they have a superior defense here. Morgana out in front. If Navi gets a little bit too edgy, we can go ahead and just ult everyone we need to. We're going to go ahead and disengage off of Baron. We got Citizen. We got caught out. There's the bind and should be going down immediately. We got the Ashe arrow. Not going to be getting a whole lot of that if you already have a dead teammate. We got the Karthus ult trying to come down and do what he can. Wicked is actually getting quite low, and Gator is actually going to be able to go ahead and finish off that one. Snoopy popping the ult, running around trying to see what he can do, and we got Ness in the middle of 4 members of CLG. We'll be able to get away. We got the Janna ult trying to keep everyone away, but goes back in for the taunt. Why?
All the binds hitting for Froggen, and Froggen able to grab the Karthus, then turning back onto Ashe, and it all started with CLG. They know they've got a pretty nice movement speed. Karthus, we've seen some of the kiting that Navi has, but CLG, because they had the team split, they're just like, all right, let's bum rush Karthus, let's get him out of here. He did die very quickly, do a nice chunk of AoE damage, but they didn't quite have the follow-up, and so the binds perfectly from Froggen, able to pick up some kills. We do see Cotton X here trying to get in for a steal, but they do have it warded. They do see him, and so we see the bind, and then the fast kill. Oh, the shield protecting him, but with the red buff, he can chase him down. He will have plenty of damage, and Janna caught out as well. They will both almost surely go down. There's the one kill. Janna being chased by the rest of them will go down shortly as well, and then it actually stalls out the Baron, though. So even though they do get 2 kills here, it stalls it out. They won't be able to take this Baron, and now we actually have a dangerous situation for them because Shen and Karthus can very easily take the Baron with just the 2 of them, and can Karthus stall any of them? Oh, just barely, no.
We do not have the volley.
But they might rush this Baron.
They can. We definitely have an opportunity to do it.
Actually,
but
I don't think they have enough time.
We have an opportunity, but the CLG is going to know about it. The ward in the bush is still there. Wicked has popped back up. We are now near to the Baron pit, so we can do a little bit of something and just try and delay for the rest of the team to get there, which is not going to be for very long. Wicked did actually decide to go back, pick it real quick, and Wicked, Guardian, Angel onto Aurelia. That's ugly. That's always ugly. And we know Wicked that Navi's going to try and focus us and take us out of the fight as quickly as possible. Wicked's always there on the front line, always taking the brunt of the damage, and we've seen this time and time again in this game. Guardian Angel going to dissuade them. He's like, oh man, if we kill him, we're going to have to deal with him again. That's a pain. That's a huge pain. So they may want to try and just focus someone else. And Citizen getting caught out in front once again with the bind. And we got the arrow from Ashe coming in. Karthus ult, will we be able to finish up anyone? We might actually get Froggen. Yes, we do. And with a little bit of help with Ashe here, we got the Janna ult, keeping everyone awake, get a little bit of health, but Wicked is out in front, doing quite a bit of damage. GA is still up, and Snoopy also getting the cleavers down, getting all the other damage down that we needed to, and Navi just getting cleaned up once again.
Yeah, just really awesome play by CLG. It all started with Froggen, and Froggen with the fast engage, able to quickly win them the fight. Navi, they feel forced to engage, and that's unfortunate. They're not getting the fights that they want, but they know we've already lost this fight. Let's try and see if we can, do our damage. They got pretty close. A number of members of CLG were very low, but now with this Baron, this could be the nail in the coffin. You saw Wicked, everyone is so tanky. Wicked, they just couldn't even get that GA down with the Soraka heals, and once the burst is down, once Karthus and Anivir are down, now the only damage really for Navi is Ashe. And Ashe versus Aurelia. Aurelia is just such a strong anti-carry. Ashe versus Graves. Graves has the damage advantage right now because he's out farming Ashe, and with all the gold advantages that they have. So once you pop that Karthus, even though you're still in the Karthus AoE, even though you get bursted down really quickly, they easily win the long engages, and that's what we're seeing for CLG.
Yep, and we've seen this time, we've seen this from this entire series from Navi, trying to force the engage. And just because of that, in these past 2 major fights, Karthus getting caught out immediately, and there's not really a whole lot you can do after he gets taken out. Navi, they're out there, it's like, all right, they're up here, they're in the Baron area, if we can get our wall, if we can get our arrow, that would be awesome, that'd be amazing, we can take this team fight, and you're getting caught. You have to wait for your opportunities. You have to wait for your moments when the time is right to go in with the arrow, with the taunt, to try and make things as as much of an advantage to your situation as possible. But they're there. CLG, they have the better positioning. They have the better team fights right now. They're not, and not to mention the very tanky body up front. Wicked. They're focusing the tanky body.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a non-takey body to focus down.
Also true.
If they want to get into Yellow Pete, then it's just too difficult for them in that back line. Morgana, would be nice to pick Morgana off, but the shields are just prevent any sort of initiation, so they can't throw off the aggressive Ash Arrow like they would like because Morgana gets the quick shield. We'll be fine. Another bind going off. They won't engage on it, but they can slowly wear them down. This is the nice thing, though, with Karthus, though, because he can clear the waves very easily, throw off the wall, maybe set up a good fight for them right underneath this tower.
Yeah, that's a situation that CLG has created. Is everyone is just so well farmed. We've got plenty of health. There's not really a good target for Navi, and now with this Baron buff, CLG can just go ahead and continue to pressure the towers with the creep waves. We got a nice little wave brewing very soon down bot. We could go ahead and we still got plenty of time on Baron as well to continue this aggression. If we really wanted to, Snoopy could just go right in, pop ult, and take the tower if we really wanted to get aggressive, but we want to try and go ahead and just secure it as safely as we can. We got the new wave coming in here. Navi trying to clear the wave as quick as we can, and we could with Karthus. We got the layaways and Wicked actually getting caught out a little bit, going down to half health, but there's only still so much we can do here.
Yeah, and Navi just doing such a great job of completely stalling CLG. They're very close to losing this Baron. How much is it? Okay, so about a minute and a half left on the Baron buff. But the thing is, even when they caught Karthus, and Karthus was so low, they could have picked up the Karthus kill really quickly if they wanted to, but it would have meant that they're all engaging underneath this tower into this tight AoE, and because they can't dissipate around that Karthus AoE, Karthus would have just wrecked them in these close quarters. And so we have no damage on Navi's tower right now, basically, because of how well they can stall. They are kind of getting a little bit low now, so we might see CLG start to be a little bit more aggressive, but really what they need to do right now is, try and move around to different towers, because if we get past this opening, actually, if Gator gets caught, that could be it. And there's the flash in from Froggen, picks up the kill. The Zonya's going off. Navi Citizen going down as well. Shen going down. Cotnex jumping onto Karthus, but really quickly they win it. And so that's all it took. The one bind, they're able to pick up the kill. Janna flashing out of there, trying to chase her down. Won't be able to grab it, but this is going to be an inhibitor. And so CLG has broken through this, the front line. The siege has worked, and they are coming down. They have enough time for this Nexus. They're going to be able to take this. So 2-0 CLG versus Navi.
We got the bind we needed. Morgana was there in the back. We got the Qs. That was it. That was our moment. Ash is bound. Let's go in, follow up, flash, ult. All we really needed to do, and just the CLG, the damage, the crowd control. This is too much for Navi to handle, and Navi just could not force and get something with those team fights they tried to force in both of these games. But there we go. CLG.EU moving on to Grand Finals, IPL5 EU Qualifier 1.